Hello everyone and welcome back to SC2Casts.com's first Invitational, sponsored and brought to you by SC2Casts.com, your source of info on all the most recent casts, commentators, events, and pro games. I am your host for the tournament, HuK SC, and I welcome you back to Day 2. And this is actually going to be the games from Day 5 from Group B. But since we didn't have Group B Day 2 games for you, we decided to move things up. We had a little bit of a lull in the weekend, but nonetheless, we want to get games out for you ASAP. And hopefully this week should be jam-packed full of games, so we can maybe get the finals for you by next weekend. So let's jump into the game. Group B, we've got HuK spawning as the red Protoss in the 12 o'clock position here on Scrap Station. HuK, the Canadian pro player, one of Gosu Gamer's top 20 that they have listed, and he was actually the top player listed on the top 200 that Blizzard released for the US, so good job HuK in being Canadian and representing. His opponent today, once again in Group B, is going to be Lalush, the blue Zerg, spawning at the 2 or 3 o'clock position here on Scrap Station. And Lalush does always play Zerg, and he is one of my most favorite Zergs. Very good player, spreading creep. TLO does it very well as well, but Lalush is very thorough at it from the games I have seen and the tournaments I have seen him in. I don't think he's been in quite as many tournaments as HuK has been, but hopefully he does change that around a little bit and we see more of him in the future. And yeah, nothing out of the ordinary coming from either player at the get-go. Common play styles that we do see from Protoss or Zerg in PvZ. We do see a little bit early harassment. For Terran, we obviously see early Hellions because there's such a wide choke on Scrap Station, so it's really tough for a lot of players to wall off, and of course Zergs cannot clump up their ramp with one queen or a few roaches, and it's easy to harass. Of course, you don't really see a lot of 2-gate pushes from the Protoss because it's just such a long rush distance, and they take so long to get there. Unless you're going to proxy or something, you're better off just going for this late gateway, early gas, and then into a Cybernetics Core build and going from there. And Lush does see what's going on in HuK's base with that Overlord overhead. And it looks like HuK's probe that was scouting is coming down to put a pylon down, and he's going to be blocking this hatchery from Lalush. Lalush probably doesn't know that's there. No, he doesn't. He goes to put down, and it's denied. So he's going to thwack away at that pylon with his 5 minerals in his mouth and his claws that are just ready and ripe for thwacking away. Overlord still overhead, and Cybernetics Core is just coming in, being warped in, of course, and no second pylon here for HuK yet, choosing to get his second assimilator before that second pylon. I guess he's using, I never thought about that, but this was acting as his second pylon. I was like, wait, how does he have 26 supply available? But obviously that second pylon was over there. The new one at his base is just about finishing. These Zerglings are about to finish this off, which will leave him supply capped for the time being. And he needs to get another pylon up ASAP because he will be supply locked. No, never mind. I'm obviously not performing math properly. And he is getting another pylon here now. And Lalush's Overlord is almost out of the base. No Stalker being trained or Sentry yet to shoo that away. So he probably didn't have to run out quite as early as he did. A couple Zerglings trying to make their way over to HuK's base. 5 or 6 in total. Yeah, 6. Running by that Zelnug Watchtower. Just make sure they don't have any units or buildings placed around there. Cybernetics Core is researching warp gates, and the first Stalker is almost out. These Zerglings would be able to cause a little bit of harassment if that Stalker wasn't almost out, just because that Zealot doesn't want to leave his guard post. If he does, the Zerglings could have got a run by and went straight to the mineral line to cause a little bit of havoc, and we've got a Stargate coming up for HuK, and this Overlord is working his way back in. Lalush clearly knows his timings, and he knows he needs to see what's coming out from HuK right now, and he does see the Stargate. He is probably not going to see that second gateway, but he got the info that he needs, and HuK is choosing to go with a Phoenix, so I would have thought Void Ray. I don't know if he's seen Lair Tech coming in. No, he has not seen that being warped or morphed in yet. but it is almost halfway done, and that Overlord did die, but not before... oh, no, he didn't get to see that second gateway. It looks like there's a little bit of a time rift here, but I don't know, maybe he did get to see it. I don't know, but that viewpoint was kind of misleading. Chrono boosting a second Phoenix out, and he's going to be able to get one Overlord kill, but Lalush does have the other Overlords tucked in his base, where HuK's probably not going to want to go in and try to harass with that. And his Queens are a little bit extra on energy. This one did just spawn, but this one's about 20 energy a little late. Very good by putting a couple creep tumors down, get that creep spread and that base is connected. That will make Hydralisks very useful. If you don't have the creep connections in your base, you really don't want to play with Hydralisks that much. They're just so slow off creep, and they're really ineffective if they're not on creep. So yeah, 2 or 3 creep tumors out now, Overlord spewing creep, and Phoenix is coming to try to do a little bit of harassment. With just 2 of them though, they're not going to be able to do anything. That was probably more for scouting info. Oh, he's got 3 now, but he has seen the Hydralisk den. He's going to want to back out, because there will be Hydralisks on the way. There's 5 in production, and just 1 Phoenix as well being produced. HuK's got a very small ground force that he's just trying to keep. Ooh, that's kind of weird. He was going to say he's just going to try to keep map position and make sure he's not forced back into his base. And he's going to put a pylon down by these destructible rocks. And is he going to push out with this small force? I can't say I'd recommend that. He takes out a Zergling by the Zelnug Watchtower, maybe just to grab the info from that. And Phoenix is still trying to kind of just patrolling around. It looks like he has lost one, and he's not producing anything out of his gateways yet, but he is producing another Phoenix. And no, he just cancelled that. So really not sure what HuK's going for right now. Putting down a second forge. He's already got 1 building here, so maybe that's just a little bit of a mistake. I don't think he's going to be doing double upgrades. That's kind of very rare unless you're doing a push. But no, even when you're doing a push, that's not very common. He does cancel that. And if you're wondering, if you see cubes from a Protoss building that's warping in, it was cancelled. It was not really destroyed. I think that applies for only if it's cancelled. If it's destroyed, I don't know if it produces cubes, but I don't think it does. I could be wrong. Who knows? Pylon coming up here at the high ground of HuK's base, and he's putting down a photon cannon, luckily just to cover this choke point, as this one is going to be covered by 2 photon cannons as well. But Lalush has got a fairly healthy force of Hydras now, breaking down the destructible rocks in the middle to make that path a little bit shorter. Few Zerglings without Zergling speed, and it's not being researched, but Grooved Spines is being researched for the Hydras. So we're likely to see some kind of push coming up, and at the same time, HuK actually has his robotics facility down, and his robotics bay is being warped in, likely to get that range upgrade and a couple Colossi out. If you're dealing with Hydralisks, you definitely want Colossi. Hydras are kind of just the be-all, end-all unit of damage against Zealots, Sentries, and Stalkers. They just deal so much damage. I think they almost do almost twice as much damage against non-armored units as